This is my Scorpion, Super Scorpion mod, Super Scorpion version 2.0. So I made it once, which was more of an experiment just to see if I could do it. Excuse me. And then now I wanted to do it again and do it a little nicer, do a nicer job of it. Inside still pretty much looks the same as the other one, and I have an in-depth video on that that shows kind of what I did in the insides of it and everything, more of a step-by-step. So I didn't do that with this, but I wanted to show you the end product, and I'll talk about some of the things I did that were just a little nicer. Just because when you're screwing it together, I wanted to make sure it held really good. So, I put M4 bolts and nuts through where there were screw holes, here and then along there. Use some little rivet nuts on this back piece that's going to hold it together tight. Did a different type of buffer tube adapter I'm going to show you. Relocated the battery to the front grip instead now. And there's a little auxiliary port up here, and that's what the battery is plugged into. So there's a little metal auxiliary port, kind of looks like a headphone jack or a DC kind of AC power jack, excuse me. So, and then I went with a nice full-length riser. It's kind of a Kriss Vector style riser. And then you see here, we've got the barrel. The barrel sticks out far because the metal barrel on the M4 is much longer, and I don't want to cut those. Cutting those, just if you cut them perfect, it's fine, but they seem to always leave some jagged edges that are going to chop up gel balls and cause issues. And I didn't think this was a problem to have it stick out anyway. Threaded tip. This is a metal barrel, so there's the metal barrel inside, and then that's kind of a metal outer barrel on it as well. Overall, very happy with how it turned out. So let me show you here. So here is, like I said, the battery is in here. This just unscrews. So that's just a nice relocation because normally it would be up here and it's a smaller compartment anyway. So threaded tip here so you could easily use tracers. The little flip up side, those are just your little side sights that flip up and flip down, and then the scope, of course, right? And then if we continue to look over here, this is how I did the buffer tube. So I'm trying to turn it for you. So this is my buffer tube adapter that I did on this one. Those were pieces I had. Some of them were just ones I'd printed before and didn't find anything to do with. And I thought, oh, even though that's intended for the M4, it fits on there nicely, kind of on top like that. And then just put rivet nuts here and then a little M4 through there to hold that closed nice and tight. So really like how it turned out. I also made my second iteration of a drum mag with an adapter. So this adapts an M4 style drum mag to the Scorpion. So here's my first one, and it works fine and it doesn't look bad. This is just my newer one where, I don't know, I did a little bit different just to kind of cover this up, printed some more pieces, and just kind of learning from how that first one went through. So all the mags fit. You do have to push them up a little tighter, and that's just probably because the way that feed tube works and how I had to modify it is probably not exactly perfect, but it works enough that you just push it till it clicks. So you kind of got to slam it in there a little harder than you normally would. But otherwise, it works great. I haven't tested the FPS on this one. On Super Scorpion version 1, we were hitting 250 averages, no problem, with highs in the 280s. I think we might be there. This one has a different spring in it. I'm not even sure where the spring came from, but it was longer and bigger than an M4 A1 regular spring, not by a lot, but by enough. So I thought, let me just go ahead and put that in here. I've shot it just to make sure it works, of course, as I was building it, because I've told you there have been so many times that during the process things work, and then you go try it after you put it together, it doesn't. So did a lot of that, going back and forth. But overall, I think it looks really cool. Really like how it turned out. Much, I like it better than my first attempt just because, I don't know, I think it looks a little cooler. It doesn't have that, the graphics, which I'm not a huge fan of on that first one. It's good because it looks definitely fake, so it's definitely safe. But that's why we got the nice big orange tips on these as well. And of course, with the threaded drop stock over here, you could take this tube off and then you could put a different tube on, use different style stocks, anything you wanted to do. If you really wanted to put the flip stock back on, you can. None of that has been damaged to the point or modified. There's a small hole behind here with a rivet nut, and that's what this screws into. So that's what's holding that on. That works out very good. So there it is, Super Scorpion V2.0, version 2.0. Let me know what you guys think. Comments, questions, post them below. Of course, smash the subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and make sure you participate in the monthly giveaways. The December giveaway is going to be awesome. I think this will be published before then. If not, look forward to the one after that. Thanks again, and I'll do a demo where we test FPS on this too, just to see how it is shooting.